And Tennessee season ends here in Indianapolis.
I told him I was sorry. I loved him. He told me he loved me. He appreciated everything I've done.
Tennessee ends up the season 30-8, and the Cougars march on.
I'm proud. I'm proud to wear this name across my chest. I'm proud to play for these guys.
March is here. Seasons have come down to this very moment. And for the Tennessee men and women, it all comes down to tonight. Survive and advance. This may be torch sports, but we are in the thick of March Madness. Our teams are on site both in Philadelphia and Ann Arbor, bringing you all you need to know about their matchups. For now, we welcome you back to the desk. I'm Alex Carpenter, and I'm here with filling in Zach Pelfrey and good old Jordan Smitherman. Guys, we have a ton to talk about. But before we get into all things Rick Barnes and squad, let's send it all the way over to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where Alexie Cowan and Sophie Starkey are awaiting the first round matchup for the men's squad. Alexie, Sophie, what do you guys have for us?
Guys, we have successfully made it to Philadelphia in one piece, and March Madness kicks off for the Vols in just a couple of hours. And now they know who they're playing, Miami, Ohio. Tell us about this team.
Sophie, Miami, Ohio is somebody that the country wants to win and wants to advance. Miami, Ohio had an undefeated regular season, one loss in the conference championship. They're really good, and that's somebody that Tennessee, if they want to make any sort of run in this tournament, they have to knock down that underdog team first, that Cinderella story.
Yeah, and we're going to be rooting for them hard, but you know who's rooting even harder is their mamas. And I just got to speak with several of the team's moms, and they said it's been such a dream since taking them to their first AAU game now to be at the March Madness tournament, hoping for that win, as are we.
Yeah, and so I think you're going to be producing some of those, and we'll have those out pretty soon for you guys to watch. But until then, tip-off is tonight at 4:25 at the Xfinity Mobile Arena. That's where we'll be. That's where the 76ers play, but not tonight. The Vols will be there tonight. And so you can catch up with us on Instagram at Torch Sports UTK and TVC News Now. We'll be keeping you updated, all the scores.
Thanks, guys. And Alexie, we miss you at the desk, but we know you're having a blast in Philadelphia. Hopefully going to bring home a first-round victory for the Volunteers. Now, the Volunteers currently sit as the 6th overall seed in the Midwest section of the bracket, as you can see right here. They'll take on the 11th seed and red-hot Miami, Ohio, the Red Hawks. Here's what Rick Barnes had to say about this feisty opponent.
Well, it's a great storyline for one, and they've earned it. I mean, you go through a regular season and do what they did, and certainly I thought they were terrific last night. They did a lot of – everybody's going to talk about their three-point shooting, but there's so much more than that. And I understand, and there should be a buzz about them because they're a really good basketball team and extremely well coached, play hard. They do everything that you have to do to win that many basketball games, but we have to do what's got us here at a very high level.
Well, Alex, I mean, what Rick Barnes said, he's exactly right. They have to continue playing at this high level that they've been playing at from the end of January through February. Now, Tennessee in this bracket, they're sitting on a 6 seed playing Miami, Ohio. Look, Cinderella stories are great. I really like Tennessee's matchup in this game and through the rest of the bracket. I think that they are on a run for a Sweet 16 here.
See, I'm more scared about this game. You just got to take it game by game. And it's funny because a couple weeks ago, I'm like, watch Tennessee match up against Miami of Ohio, face another one of these Cinderellas, and here they are. Now, I'm a little sad that we're playing them, or that the Vols are playing them, because it would definitely be a team I would be rooting for in March Madness. I'm not going to lie. I watched Miami of Ohio in January, and they were such a fun team, but I'm a little more scared because of the Vols' recent inconsistencies and Miami's ability to just shoot the lights out on every point of the floor.
So you're not concerned, is what I'm hearing.
I am concerned. I think Cinderella stories definitely happen. I think Tennessee has what it takes to overcome that Cinderella story.
Tennessee needs to do its job to put a bow tie on the Cinderella story.
How much do you put into account the fact that Miami, Ohio already has a victory under their belt with a big win in the first 4 over SMU?
I mean, momentum swings are everything, all right? You can't take that for granted. But Tennessee's ability to get back to where they were, if they stay a healthy team, Tennessee can get their consistency back and make a run in this tournament. Miami, Ohio, yes, sneaky three-point shooters. However, I think Tennessee has the ability to guard those three-point shooters. And Miami, Ohio, I'll say this later again, they don't have a guy above 6'9". Tennessee has 3 guys above 6'9". They're not going to be able to dominate Tennessee in the paint.
You keep saying if the Vols get back to this, if the Vols get back to that. Right now, they're are not that consistent. Nate Immense just getting back. This team, I'm going to mention this again later, but they seem to not do the simple things well. And when they lose, it's because they don't rebound. It's because they miss free throws and they miss layups. So I'm kind of concerned on the way they're playing now and how Miami is playing now as well. Now, a game under their belt for Miami does help Tennessee a lot from a scouting point of view, but I'm still a little bit concerned.
Now, one of the key pieces for the Volunteers' success in the NCAA tournament is no doubt going to be freshman star forward Nate Ament. He returned from injury at the SEC tournament last weekend, and he put on a show in a big win against Auburn in Tennessee's first game, scoring 27 points. He was very, very versatile in that game. It looked like a return to glory for him. Then he was shut down in Game 2 versus Vanderbilt, held to only 12 points.
Yeah, during Vanderbilt, that team has just been the Vols' kryptonite all season. I mean, every game it's just not good, but Ament is crucial if the Vols want a long run in this tournament. He takes the pressure off of other players like Gillespie. Like you said, he provided a huge lift with his 27-point return in the SEC tournament win against Auburn. Looking like the Nate Ament that Zach was talking about that we've seen in January and February, and he's had 8 20-point-plus performances over the season against SEC play, which is where you need to play your best ball. And at least 5-0, the Vols are at least 5-0 when a Nate Ament scores over 20 points.
For Tennessee to succeed in March Madness, they will go as far as Nate Ament takes them. And I mean that literally. I was down in the SEC tournament, down in Nashville, when Ament came out and he scored 27 points against Auburn. Then again, Vanderbilt, like you said, only 12 points. He was 1 for 13 from the field. Now, in the post-game press conference, Rick Barnes did say that Ament re-aggravated his high ankle sprain. So the big key will be if he's healthy. If he's healthy, I think Ament gives a big boost to the Volunteers, and I think that he is the reason why that they go to the Sweet 16 and make a run in March.
March is all about the big factor. We saw it with Chaz Lanier last year. We saw it with Dalton Connect 2 years ago. Will Nate Ament be able to be a big part of today's result? We'll find out soon enough. But to give us more of a deep dive into the matchup, the X's and the O's, the man who's been here all season, it's Nick Rose. He's going to give us a more visual look at what Tennessee needs to do in order to go far in this tournament. Nick, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Alex. The Vols are going to need it to be able to control the glass and defend the three-pointer. Here against Auburn, look at where they have them. Deep three on the logo from their big man late in the shot clock. They're able to come away with this defensive rebound. Miami of Ohio, terrible offensive rebounding team. Fast break opportunity for Amari Evans, isn't able to convert, but Felix Okpara is there on the cleanup. The Vols need to control the glass to be able to control the tempo. Miami of Ohio is going to want to go at a nuclear pace. The Vols need to control the glass to slow that down. They also need Nate Ament to play well. Here against Auburn, the defender tries to cheat this screen to the corner. Nate Ament recognizes that, pulls forward to the middle of the paint here, gets the ball, and is able to finish through contact. This is what he offers. He's a matchup nightmare for the Red Hawks. Later in the game against Auburn as well, misses a three, gets his own rebound. Auburn players just kind of forget about him as he's down in the camera section. There's nobody around him, comes back into the play, goes to the corner, and is going to be able to knock down this wide open three, which is a big part of the run that Tennessee went on to win that game against Auburn. If the Vols want to go on a deep March Madness run and avoid a loss to Cinderella, they're going to need to be able to control the glass and slow down this tempo and need Nate Ament to play well. Alex, back to you guys.
Nick, what will we do without you? You've been here all season, and we appreciate your hard work. Now, this matchup against the Red Hawks is going to be crucial for Tennessee if they want any hope of success in the future of this tournament. Can they pull off the win? Miami, Ohio is the only Division I team in all of basketball to go undefeated in the regular season. They lost their first game in the first round of their conference tournament. They're the 11th seed. They won against SMU on Tuesday night actually, and the Red Hawks look red hot. Volunteers, Tennessee might be on upset alert.
The keys to win for this game is for the Volunteers to stop the three, to apply their defensive pressure, and to do the simple things well. Like I mentioned earlier, every time the Vols lose, it seems to be they don't make their free throws, they don't make their layups, or they don't rebound enough, they don't come down with enough. And to stop the three, if they do that, it'll force Miami of Ohio to other uncomfortable shots that they're forced to make, and the defensive pressure kind of goes hand in hand with stop the three to make Miami of Ohio feel uncomfortable and for the Vols to get back to their brand of basketball.
A little nugget I saw before coming to the show today. Miami, Ohio plus 11.5 is the most bet spread in the tournament this season.
Of course it is.
It's the most bet game. Tennessee, don't listen to the noise. Like Rick Barnes said, get back to your momentum that you were carrying throughout February into March. Jacoby Gillespie, you're the leader of this team. Rein your guys in, go out there, get 15 to 20 points a night. I'll end with this. My keys to the game, Miami, Ohio is a three-point sniping team. Get them off the three-point line, and Tennessee dominate the glass. There is no Cinderella story if Tennessee keeps them away from the ball.
Before we bring on a new cast to take a look at the upcoming NCAA tournament matchup for Kim Caldwell and her squad, let's rewind the clock a little bit and take a look at the Lady Vol basketball season as of late. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Rocky Top. I'm now joined here by some great people here at the desk. It's the women's basketball cast to talk about a great team. We got Matayaus Phothirath, Lauryn Gempler, and Taylor Lankford for what could be one last ride. We're so excited to talk about all things involving the Lady Vols today here with you. But before we get into any of that, our very own dynamic duo of Lukes, are in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Tennessee will take on NC State later tonight in the first round of the women's NCAA tournament. Guys, what do you have for us up there in Michigan?
Well, guys, you're exactly right. We're outside the Chrysler Center right now on the campus of the University of Michigan, and as you can see, nobody here just yet. But coming tonight, 8 p.m., something special. This Lady Vols matchup, Luke, going to be exciting.
An exciting matchup it will be. The 10th-seeded Lady Vols taking on the 7th-seeded NC State Wolfpack in a rematch of what was the very first game of the season for both these teams. You'll hear more about that from our guys at the desk, but nonetheless, an exciting rematch.
Well, it's no secret that the Lady Vols have lost 10 of their last 12 matchups, something Kim Caldwell says she sure hopes forget.
And Caldwell said in her presser yesterday that she hopes March is a fresh start for this team. And when we went to their practice yesterday, that's exactly what we saw from the team. They look cool, calm, and collected ahead of tonight's matchup.
And we even spoke to the Paldo twins, who said they're putting away the notion that there's any sort of pressure in this matchup. They're strictly relying on their teammates and the love and support of their teammates to get them through the madness of this tournament.
The Paldo twins and the rest of the team are locked in and ready to go for tonight's matchup. Tip-off is at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN. Stay tuned for all of our coverage on both the TVC and Torch Sports Instagram pages. But for now, we'll send it back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, guys. And you guys better stay out of trouble up there in Michigan, I'm telling you what. Now, the Lady Volunteers started their season with a nail-biting 3-point loss against the NC State Wolfpack for their first regular season game. They looked to get revenge after a bounce back and something out of the first round exit in the SEC tournament. It just did not seem to be clicking for them.
That's right, Alex. I mean, sorry, Mr. Milan, as I like to call you now. But yeah, I mean, guys, these teams, they played very similar in their first matchup, especially on the offensive end. They both shot the same from the field, both 39%. Second chance points, they were even. Also, similarly on the boards as well. Lauren's about to get into that in a second. And look, I'm just saying though, you can't have a stat box that was so perfectly similar like the first game of the season. But again, the Lady Vols, they've lost the last 2 games against NC State, so can they prevent the 3 in a row?
Yeah, you mentioned that these two teams were very similar. I mean, both shot 39% from the field, but I want to look at these rebounds because both teams had 48 rebounds since then. Whew. The Lady Vols are averaging 39 rebounds. NC State is averaging 43. And rebounding is something that the Lady Vols really got away from. And Kim Caldwell mentioned that, you know, they have been on the 7-game losing streak, but they've had 2 weeks. They've had 2 weeks to get back in practice to really figure out what has been going wrong. A lot of it has been rebounding. They've been practicing their rebounding. If they can put into play what they've been practicing about this rebounding and go out there and beat the Wolfpack on the boards, they have a chance at winning this game. It's going to come down to who is going to out-rebound who.
Well, rebounds are prevalent when you miss a lot of shots. Look, at the time, this was an 8-9 matchup between the two. Now, neither of them received votes in the AP poll. NC State has won the last 7 of their 10. They have a little bit of momentum on their side, unlike the Lady Vols, who've won 2 of their last 10. However, according to ESPN Analytics, the Lady Vols are favored 55% to 45%. Now, I'm no ESPN analyst, but I do have a few tricks up my sleeve, a few tips one could say. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You know it. You love it. Taylor's tips to the tournament. The 5 T's of wisdom are back.
Wow.
Look at him.
That says Taylor's tips to March
Well,
Madness.
it's the March Madness edition.
Well,
let's go down. Well, let's go down it.
Okay.
Don't interrupt me now. You got to lock down a familiar foe first. Camille Pierre, who was previously a Vanderbilt Commodore, is in her 6th matchup against the Lady Vols. As a starter against Tennessee, she is averaging 19.3 points per game and 12.3 rebounds. She thrives in the paint. Almost 53% of her shots come from the paint. Can't let her get comfortable. Secondly, you have to force turnovers. The Lady Vols are 52nd in the nation when it comes to forcing turnovers. They average 19.3 a game. However, the Wolfpack has very good ball security. They are
And the
13th.
Lady Vols don't.
No, they don't. They rank. They have
18
15.5
turnovers in the SEC tournament.
Yeah, exactly. And then number 3, you have to crash the glass. You already said it, so I won't speak too much about it. But the Lady Vols are 257th in the nation in allowing rebounds. However, the Wolfpack are 6th in the nation in getting rebounds. You got to crash the glass. You got to be aggressive at the rim, and you got to follow your shot because, like I said earlier, that happens a lot. A lot of missed shots. And then finally, it goes without saying, you have to win. You have the talent. You have the ability. Someone has to say it. Go win.
Well, Taylor, I mean, everyone seems to love your tips, but I want to add my tip as well. I mean, look, listen, guys, there's been something that the Lady Vols have struggled with, especially in this losing streak, that we have not talked about a lot, and that's the dreaded third quarter. Oh my goodness. So a lot of people don't know, but look at the numbers right there. They have gotten outscored in the third quarter in every single game of this losing streak. And guess what? In this NC State first game with NC State, they also were outscored 18-23. So look, in my opinion, if the Lady Vols are going to want to win this first round matchup, they cannot continue this third quarter streak that seems to be plaguing them, because clearly when Tennessee doesn't have the momentum going to the fourth, the game's essentially over according to the numbers. They need to keep the momentum going from third to the fourth, or else it's donezo. It's donezo.
We should have known in that first matchup.
Exactly.
I don't feel much more confident after hearing both of your tips, not going to lie. But nonetheless, the squad is going to need a lot of things to go right in order for them to win this game. Now, Nick Rose is right back where he was last segment to show us what those things are exactly for the Lady Vols. Nick, please give us some good news.
Absolutely, Alex. As Taylor mentioned, turnovers are going to be key in this one. The Lady Vols are 11-5 when they win the turnover battle. Let's take a look here. Maya Paldo loses the ball, goes back into it, gets the steal, and is able to finish with the contest there. Here, this time, Malaysia Latham plays great defense. Maya Paldo picks it up and is able to hit the outlet to Jada Civil and finish in transition. The Lady Vols 5-8 when they lose the turnover battle, so that's very important for them. Once again, they're going to need Talaysia Cooper to have a good game. Whatever happened in the SEC tournament needs to be put behind her. She's going to need to be able to thrive in this one against NC State. Here, she jumps the pass perfectly and is able to go coast to coast and finish with this nice little floater over the defender. On the next play right here, potential fast break opportunity turns into a steal for Cooper. She's able to then go around and then just bully the Smalley defender all the way down into the paint for an easy shot. Whatever happened in the SEC tournament, got to be put behind her. They need to find a way to get her the ball to score and win the turnover battle. Alex, back to you.
Thanks, Nick. We appreciate it. And the turnovers have been the thing that plagued the Lady Vols all season long. Will it plague them tonight? Now, the Lady Vols have quite the history in terms of the NCAA tournament. They're the only team to make all 44 appearances, and they have 8 national titles under their belt. But they haven't always had success. There are 2 times that the Lady Vols have been first-round exits in the tournament, 2009, and then the last time was 2019, just 6 years ago. Now, there is a possibility that they are going to repeat some of those bad news, because the last time that the Lady Vols lost, 6 in a row? Are they on a 6-game losing streak? 7 games was 1981. 1981 was the last time the Lady Vols had this much of a disasterful finish, and we're going to see what happens here in a moment. Now, we don't have enough time to talk about this anymore, but it's going to be exciting to see if Tennessee can do something here in the NCAA tournament, and we'll keep you up to date with that on Torch Sports, and you stay tuned for the Luke's coverage. But that's going to wrap up this week's edition of basketball coverage. Now let's go into some Diamond coverage. Our very own Alexie Cowan sat down with the men's basketball athletic trainer to take a look at some of his time working with Tennessee. Don't switch the channel just yet. We'll be right back here with more.
When Nate Ament suffered an in-game injury last month, the athletic trainer was the first one at his side. This same trainer was also out there for Tobias Harris, Chris Lofton, and every Vol basketball athlete since 1997.
Right now, we just here in their training room, with one of the best trainers in the land, Chad Newman.
Chad Newman, director of men's basketball sports medicine, is celebrating his 30th year with Tennessee basketball and 31st with UT.
Every day is completely different. Every year is a different story. No 2 years are the same.
Newman is a UT alum, going straight from grad school to a full-time position with the Vols and never looked back.
I was at the pinnacle, where am I going that's going to be better than this?
The longest tenured member of UT's sports medicine staff, he's trained 16 NBA draftees and several March Madness teams.
I think part of being an athletic trainer is you're integrating your life into their life. You're their mom, their dad, their grandmother, whatever it may be, away from home.
And it is a family.
Having done this for over 30 years, retirement sometimes comes to mind, but I'm not that old yet, and my job is not done yet here, so still writing my story.
When you're watching the Vols and see an injury, now you know. Chad is right there every time and will continue to be. In Knoxville, Alexie Cowan, TVC.
What a great package, Alexie, on the heart and soul of Tennessee basketball squad. Folks, before we wrap up this episode, the Diamond Sports have officially begun SEC play, with notable wins coming and losses last weekend. Now, Tennessee baseball currently sits at number 22 in the nation and has a record of 15 wins and 6 losses. Here to give you an update on Josh Elander's squad is our very own Lewis Maddox. Lewis, what do you have for us?
Yeah, thanks, guys. We are here in windy Lindsey Nelson Stadium, which is right behind me. Tennessee sitting at 15-6 on the season so far, and they've still got some work to do. Went down to Georgia last week in Athens against the Bulldogs for their first SEC weekend series. They picked up game 1 but dropped the Saturday and Sunday games. You remember one of those losses was that home run robbery from Tennessee that Georgia caught over the wall, spoiling the Volunteers' hopes of winning their first SEC series. But I think everybody can agree that this team still talent-wise can play with anybody in the country. They're still ranked as the 22nd team in the land, like you mentioned. And tonight, Missouri starts their first home series against the Vols here inside of Lindsey Nelson Stadium. Missouri also sitting at 15-6 on the season, but another opportunity for the Vols to grasp that first SEC series win. They're now in Lindsey Nelson Stadium for Torch Sports. I'm Lewis Maddox, throwing it back to you guys.
Thank you, Lewis, and hopefully the Tennessee Vols can pick up a nice opening victory here in their home SEC opener. Now the Lady Vols softball has been off to their best start in school history. They currently sit as the #1 team in the nation with a record of 27 wins and only 1 loss. Our own Cheyenne Sargent is here to talk about the best softball team in NCAA. Cheyenne, what can you tell us?
Thanks, Alex. I'm here at Sherry Parker Lee Stadium, where the #1 ranked Lady Vols are still undefeated at home, largely due to a record-setting 26-game winning streak. Now, the Lady Vols winning streak did come to an end, however, with a loss to Mississippi State 1-0 Saturday in Starkville, but they quickly recovered with a 4-1 win in the same series on Sunday, improving their record to 27-1 on the season. Senior pitcher Carlin Pickens returned from an 11-day arm strain injury on Sunday, tossing a complete game, allowing only 1 hit, and improving her record on the season to 7-0. It was also a monumental game for Pickens as she recorded her 700th career strikeout in the 2nd inning of the game. Looking ahead, the Lady Vols will head to Gainesville to face the #5 ranked University of Florida for a 3-game weekend series. The Gators have opened up SEC play undefeated 6-0 so far for the first time in 15 years. The Lady Vols are hoping to continue their overall success this weekend against their SEC rivals, the Florida Gators. That's all I have for now on the Lady Vols softball team. Sending it back to the studio.
Thanks, Cheyenne, and shout out to the Lady Vols for such a great start to the season. Hopefully they can keep that up and maybe only have 1 loss as they continue down the road. Well, folks, unfortunately, that's all the time we have here today. But don't worry, we'll be right here next week for more news from Tennessee Athletics. In the meantime, don't forget to follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Torch Sports UTK and on X at TorchSports_UTK for all the latest updates and breaking news. March is here. Let the madness begin. Can either Tennessee teams make a run? We'll find out later today. Grab some popcorn. I know I'm going to need it. Thank you all so much for watching this, Lise. And hey, let's beat Miami, Ohio. Let's beat NC State. I'm Alex Carpenter, and as always, go Vols.
Here in Indianapolis.
I told him I was sorry. I loved him. He told me he loved me. He appreciated everything I've done.
Tennessee ends up the season 30-8, and the Cougars march on.
I'm proud to wear this name across my chest. I'm proud to play for these guys.
Your channel works around the clock to curate UT news, sports, and event coverage. Best way to stay on top of all of it is to follow our Instagram at TVC News Now. You can scan this QR code right here to get right to the page. All of our content is created by UT students with the Big Orange community in mind. Volunteer Channel thanks you for your support. Go Vols.